Hey, what's up, everybody? Just tuning in for another water cooler chat. We have a bunch of updates, a couple of things to talk about, a couple of things that are ongoing today before we get in here to August. So we're going to be going over a bit about Darby. So that was announced this week. Super exciting. Talking a little bit about Up V2 to come and how Darby is going to impact that. A lot of stuff going on the stablecoin side of things. We're seeing all kinds of companies kind of enter the ring there. Some new updates to the website, and yeah, just some good general news, So we're gonna just hop into it. So starting out with Darby. So we've been talking about this, B2B type of solution for a long time now. It's something we've been advertising as a part of the business since January. But if we take a look at Darby, that goes back to, we're coming up on a year here. I think October of last year. So this has been around for some time. And yeah, we're super excited to actually put that out there and finally let everybody know kind of how that works. I've seen a lot of questions. Is it a token? How is it going to work? Like, what are these things going to look like, as they start to impact the Up ecosystem? And no, there is no token. You don't need to do anything. You don't really even need to be aware of its existence. In fact, the only way that you're really going to notice that Darby exists is when Up V2 is live. You're going to see its impact in the redeem value of Up V2. So that's kind of really what I want to talk about a little bit. So Darby itself is basically a smart contract arbitrage solution. Doesn't necessarily need to just correct to the market price. It can do a lot of different things. It can kind of look at the market position of a token and correct it as it needs to based off of the liquidity positions that it has, or the liquidity positions of multiple markets at once. And so essentially what this is there to do is to watch the Up token pair. And basically as it sees Up token pair movement, it's going to take profit off of the table of that token pair and deposit it directly into redeem value. So what that does is it basically means as the market naturally fluctuates with Up token to native token, you're going to see Darby stepping in, performing trades, correcting that market as is needed, or as it can do sustainably, and it is going to take its proceeds that it takes from that and deposit it directly into Up to help increase redeem value. It's one of the ways that it's going to increase here going forward. So it's super exciting. It's a really big piece of what we're doing. It can roll out on basically every blockchain that we're on today. And so what that does is just one of the ways that we're going to see a positive impact to Up V2's redeem value. So getting into a little of the other news here, I kind of like to bring up stable coins because this is something that is constantly at the top of our mind. A lot of different companies are jumping into the stablecoin arena. They're looking at algorithmic stablecoins, fiat-backed stablecoins, all kinds of different solutions. And for us, it's important. It's important because a stablecoin is a very interesting way for a cryptocurrency to have a real impact on blockchain. One of the ways that we've been talking about this here internally is basically looking at blockchain as a technology more so than crypto. Cryptocurrency, crypto commodities, these aren't necessarily the technology. That's more like the exciting part of it, the part of it that's getting people very interested in the space. But the blockchain technology itself doesn't really rely on that. This is relatively simple, old consensus-based mechanisms that exist there and have existed for a long time. And these cryptocurrencies, or crypto commodities as we're starting to call them now, don't necessarily have to exist. That being said, when you look at things like a cryptocurrency, such as a stablecoin, that's a huge part of where value transfers can actually happen on the blockchain. So I think that in the future, stablecoins are going to be a more and more important part of how we kind of do maybe more financial transactions in blockchain, less so than crypto commodities specifically. So anyways, that's kind of a big thing that we can talk about more in the future, and especially more so in August. So we'll kind of wait for that. A couple of small updates that we're seeing. blog came out this week. That's going to be a big part of our new kind of position as we roll out some improvements to the website, to how we operate and communicate as a company. That's going to be a very interesting way that we do that, trying to basically make a more or a less formal, a more insightful way of talking about the things that we have going on internally. So ontology farming rewards, those have kind of kicked off now. So we are effectively working with the ontology side of things so that we can celebrate their kind of anniversary here. And as a result, there's some great increased rewards on ontology U-Trade. So if you're there and you're participating there and you want to earn some additional up, that's being sponsored by ontology. So that's great. And then finally, there's just been a lot of news. We get, people talk to us about exchange listings constantly. We've had people reach out to us. We've had people try to contact us, but Kraken, Whitebit, Changely, even crypto.com, these have all kind of been listed recently. We as a company, we don't reach out to these companies. We don't engage with them directly. Virtually every exchange listing that we have today has happened naturally, with them kind of coming to us and deciding to list our token. And that's kind of the way that we like to operate, is just looking at how the business is more sustainable, is like, how do we make sure that we're positioning ourselves so we're, operating correctly from a regulatory perspective, from a tax perspective, and basically being an upstanding crypto community that we can be in this space. So super exciting to see those listings and kind of see some of the first inklings here of Up V2 coming out there publicly. So that's going to be great. And let me think here if there's anything else to dive into. We are going to be talking, kicking off a bit of a road show here coming into August. Specifically, there will be a pretty big speaking engagement coming up here that month that I know that I'm going to be at, and some of the rest of the team will be at. So we're going to be traveling around to kind of talk a little bit more about what's coming next. And super excited to see that. It's a very interesting time with the market to kind of watch people come into the space and how they're looking at things differently. Sustainability continues to be a very important part of that. And we're super excited to kind of lead that charge. So with that being said, guys, I think I'm going to wrap it up here. Thank you all so much. And feel free to reach out if you have any other questions or comments. Bye.